Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. I'm Asian in Norway. In my last video, I talked about how to prepare for a job interview and some tips. But in this video here, I'm going to talk about the actual type of question you can get in a job interview here in Norway. It is impossible to prepare for all the type of questions you can get because there are just so many, and some experts say there can be up to over like 80 different questions you can prepare for. But I narrowed down to 5 questions that is the most common one and some of the most difficult ones. From my personal experience, the amount of questions I have gotten in typical job interviews think around 5 to 8. That's on average. The interview usually lasts around 20 to 40 minutes. So there won't be time for that many questions because the interview is just not all about asking questions, but it's also having a conversation. I want to be very clear here that I'm no job expert. Everything I say here is based on my personal experience and things I have learned from other Norwegian job experts, and of course things that I have read on the Norwegian internet pages. A piece of advice here is that no matter the type of question you get, always remember that you have to be as honest as possible, because in Norway the culture here is built on trust and built on that people are being honest, and it is more important in a Norwegian job interview to show that you are being honest about who you are rather than trying to impress them with your skills and achievements. Number 1, tell me about yourself. This is a very common question. I think I have gotten in almost 9 out of 10 job interviews that I have been to. It's usually one of the first questions you will get. It's a little, you can call it a warm-up, because they want you to basically, want to get to know you better. And usually what I say is, introducing myself by telling, who my full name, my age, what my occupation is, and the education I have, and etc. Basically just a self-introduction about your background. Number 2, what is your biggest weakness? Now, I personally really hate that question because it is a very difficult one, and at the same time a little bit uncomfortable too. You want to answer the question, again, as honest as you can, but at the same time you don't want to make yourself look too bad either. So how do you answer this question without without making yourself look bad in all directions and fill all the gaps? Well, at least what I say usually is that I tend to feel stressed and small panicking sometimes when I used to work at McDonald's, when there was a rush hour, when we were short staffed and there was a lot to do. I tell them, I kind of feel very stressed and I feel like it's a very high pressure. But in the beginning I felt it was very difficult, but over the years with experience I learned to calm myself and go through it. So that's actually my answer for that question. There are of course a lot of different ways to answer it, but at least that's what I did. And you telling them about your weakness, you being honest about it, and at the same time you also tell them what you learned from it. And the point of this question is they want to see if you can self-reflect. And one of the worst thing you can do here is to tell them, I have no weakness. In some cases that can be a turn-off, and that's already enough for them to say if you're gonna get the job or not. Number 3, why do you want to work in our company? They ask you this because they want to be sure if you really want to work with them. You're not just applying for a job on the internet just to get a job, but find out as much as you can about this company, and then of course you will just tell them what you want. For example, if you're an IT guy and you find this company to be very interested, and you tell them, based on the information I saw from your webpage and the things you have achieved in the past and your goals in the future, you can tell them, I find it very motivating and I want to be part of this. Number 4, have you ever failed? basically they want you to self-reflect again, and they want to know if you have failed, and have you ever failed and overcome the problem or learned something from it. Doesn't have to be work related. Can be, if you, for example, failed in an exam. You can tell them, yes, I have failed multiple times. So you can tell them how you failed, like, okay, during this time when I took this exam, I got a really bad grade, but when I took the exam again, I did a lot better because I practiced harder and I learned from my mistakes. Number 5. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, sounds like they're just curious, but their motive is to see, how long you are going to stay with them if they hire you. And now, I answer this question very honestly because I usually don't prepare for this question. I will just tell them, well, I don't have any plan yet, so I really don't know. So I just keep the answer short. So I guess I will end this video and say that these 5 questions are some of the most typical and difficult ones I have faced. So not necessarily you're gonna get them all, but keep in mind you can also get all different type of questions, and you may not get all of them. I want to be clarified that I'm no job expert. I don't know what a good answer for what type of question is the best, because there's like a lot of different ways to answer it, and there's a lot of different good answers. So like it's just not like one answer to every particular question. There's like so many different ones. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you find this useful. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye.